from Houston, Texas, and around the world. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, we're getting ready to do this thing, but I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, baby. Oh, yeah, man. How you doing, dog? How you feel?
I'm feeling good. For anybody wondering what that smoke is, that's an air freshener that's going off. I didn't expect for it to look like that on camera, but I'm doing great, BT. You know, we had a great weekend of reality wrestling. It was a great weekend of wrestling. I got to say, I enjoy when WWE is overseas because I can wake up and watch it. Just like this morning, Raw was on this morning. It was nice to just wake up and watch it as I'm getting ready for the day. It's a treat. It's a real treat.
Yeah, I got kids.
I got a cat. You know what I mean? So our responsibilities are different.
Exactly. Big time. Big time. No, but seriously, man, a lot of action went down this weekend. Bound for Glory went down with TNA. We got a new TNA champ. Want to give it up to my boy Mikey Santana. No, man, look, you know what? Something about that dude, man. Something about it. He's got that raw, gritty street-like mentality. It proverbiates. You can feel it in the arena when this dude walk out and the music playing, whatnot. You know, and I'm just glad for that dude to get the rub. To get the rub. That's what it's all about. Becoming champ. You know, one time is something, but now it's time to go out there and, you know, get the job done and duplicate it many times over. Oh yes, man. But no, man. What was your highlights? What was your highlights from the weekend?
You know, obviously, well, man, there's three. There's four really that come to my mind. But obviously, Reality Wrestling Platinum presents Rise to Wrestling Royalty was such a fun show to be a part of, and you know, I want to give a shout out to a couple people real quick. I got to give a big shout out to AJ Francis and Buck Gator. Buck Gator tried to get the Reality Wrestling Glory Championship, but now 200 plus days in running is AJ Francis. He's also got a new album out called Dear Summer. Y'all check that out. And I also want to give a game ball to Max Castellanos, the Reality of Wrestling Texas champion, who went out there and defended his title like a champion. You got to love Matt. What do you think of Max, Book?
Yeah, I want to see Max get a shot more than anything. He's not one of your typical Spanish wrestlers. He's not somebody that goes out and do a lot of lucha or anything like that. But as far as being sound inside the square circle, a guy that knows how to be that general inside the ring and work to a perspective to where the crowd totally wants to hate and despise this guy at the end of the night. Oh man, he does all of that. He definitely checks off he's handsome, good looking. You know what I mean? Max Castellanos, he literally checks off every box. So hopefully the world is looking. That's what Reality of Wrestling is all about, giving these young guys an opportunity, a springboard to be seen. I know that's the only thing that I ever asked for was, you know, to be seen. And I say, man, I pretty much, I think I could do the rest. If I could just be seen, if I get that camera, that spotlight on me. And that's what we're doing at Reality of Wrestling. So like you say, Rise to Wrestling Royalty, big ups to everybody that came out and, you know, worked so hard. Tavion Heights from NXT definitely came out and did his thing. Tyra May Steele, you know, from NXT, she came out and did her thing. And, you know, I see bright futures for both of those guys and girls. Seriously, I see bright futures for both of them, just because you can see that they, you know, as disciplined as they are in their own, you know, fields, they still, you know, are so humble about trying to pick this up and learn this from a realistic perspective. So I appreciate, you know, young guys these days who listen, you know, to the old veterans, you know, like myself, you know, because, you know, we still got a little bit of knowledge to give. So for me, Tavion Height, Ed Stone, who went out there, both of those guys went out there and they rocked it. They definitely made that crowd feel something at the end of the night. So guys, check out your Reality of Wrestling every Saturday night, 10 p.m. on CW39.
That's right. And the Reality Wrestling YouTube channel, which is marching toward that 900,000 subscriber mark.
Oh, yes, Matt.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed John Cena, AJ Styles. I enjoyed, man, the Hardys and the Dudleys went out there and did it one more time. Dudleys, I don't know if they both retired. Was that a double retirement or just a team retirement? I guess it was a team retirement because Bubba's still out there doing a little something every now and then. But it was just a cool moment for a fan like me who I remember going and watching WrestleMania 16 with the triangle ladder match with them and Edge and Christian and stealing the show that year, and then the following year at WrestleMania 17 with the first TLC match. So it was kind of a trip to see them still out there. And the Hardys now NXT and TNA Tag Team Champions. You know what I heard? I heard a rumor. Maybe you can confirm this. I heard that the Hardy Boyz wanted to add the prestigious Reality of Wrestling Tag Team titles around their waist. That's what I heard. That was what somebody was telling me online, that they wanted to come out and try to get the road tag titles.
I heard they want to come down and make an appearance. I didn't hear about the road titles or anything like that.
Okay, well, maybe I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know
But I mean, if you heard it, you know what I mean. It's gospel. It's gospel. You know what I mean. But no, I definitely want to get Matt and Jeff down to Reality Wrestling. Let them do something. Just let the fans here pay homage to a tag team that has done so much for the business. I mean, those guys. People always go to compare. Who's the greatest of all times. But I give the Hardys that nod as being the greatest tag team of their era. They really are. So nah, man. Those guys would definitely be a curtain call if we can get them down to Reality of Wrestling just one time for your mind. Oh yes, man. So now let's see if we can make it happen.
Well, when you think about the careers of Matt and Jeff and the Dudleys and obviously Edge and Christian, but when you think about Matt and Jeff, for them, I think at one point in WWE, they were the WWE champion and the ECW champion at the same time, right? One leader of the SmackDown brand, one leader of the ECW brand at the time. The WWE was still doing that. And the rarity to have a tag team with two guys who were just as over on the card. That's difficult. Jeff obviously always got a lot of popularity and praise because of his death-defying moves, which he was still on display for TNA Bound for Glory. And congratulations to TNA. I think they set a North American record for attendance at one of their shows. So congratulations to them. I think they almost had 10,000 people for Bound for Glory.
10,000 people. Oh, yes, man.
But to me, Matt is just as innovative from a character perspective as Jeff was innovative from offense. You talk about a guy who, when they split him up, he did the Matt Hardy version 1, if you remember that run, and he would come out like it was the AOL embracing the internet. And then he did the broken Matt Hardy, which was another evolution of his character. He had a memorable rivalry with Edge where they were using real life things and man, just another innovative guy. So for the two of them to have the careers they've had as singles wrestlers is great. And that would be enough. But for them as a tag team, I agree with you. They're the best tag team of their era. It's not even close, in my opinion.
No, I mean, I think you're right as far as both of those guys going out and doing singles wrestling. Even, Jeff had that, charismatic enigma thing going on. And people really wanted to get into face paint and all that. But Matt pretty much, he carved his own niche out, man. That dude, I mean, both of those guys won world titles. Both of those guys stayed relevant, even though they was apart the whole time, and then they come back together and boom, they just as over, as they always was. I think Matt and Jeff might be the only team to ever pull something off like that.
I was thinking about that. I was really thinking about that as I knew we were going to talk about the Hardys. I know Christian and Edge both had world title runs kind of at different times, and then they had to step away. Edge stepped away for almost a decade or whatever it was. Christian came back. Now they're doing their thing in AEW. But as far as them, and what I love too about Matt, and I think as I've gotten older, I've enjoyed Matt Hardy from a character and what he's been able to do in the ring more than I did even when I was younger. Because you're right. He took everything he's got. You know what I mean? He made it happen. He didn't. Yeah. No one gave it to him. No one said, "Oh, hey, you're the guy. We're going to give you the ball." He's like, "No, I'm taking the ball. I'm going to make this work no matter where I am in the card." And even on SmackDown, he had such entertaining segments. Remember you may or may not, because you were working on top at the time, but I remember he and MV had a great feud for the U.S. title. Great feud for the U.S. title. And no matter where he was on the card, you felt like, in a similar way to you, he felt like he was always giving it 110%, no matter where he was on the card. And he was going to make something happen, no matter what they gave.
I always, speak, very highly of Matt Hardy, just because I was one of those guys that I wasn't a believer of Matt Hardy before I got in the ring with him and worked with him. I was like, man, why do people like this guy so much, man? I mean, he's not that great of a worker. That's what I'm thinking, Then, we worked a set of house shows, man, and man, he had those people going freaking nuts, man. I didn't have to do anything that night. It was like it was like a night off, you know what I mean? Because the crowd was, going so crazy. Then I go, oh, that's why they like this guy so much, you know what I mean? Because he can work, and sometimes, from the outside looking in as a worker, you just can't tell how good a guy really is until you get in the ring with him. And that's the way it was for me with Matt Hardy. Jeff was a different story, but Matt, I actually had to get in the ring and get hands on him just to see how good he really was. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Both guys, Hall of Famers. Both teams, Hall of Famers. I know Matt and Jeff aren't in yet, but they will be, and the Dudleys are already in. Dudleys, call it a career. They handed the boots to the Hardys at the end of Bound for Glory.
You know what? It's a sad day. Sad day in professional wrestling right now for the Hardys and the Dudleys. No more Dudleys. No more Dudleys. We'll miss them. But we got to take a break inside the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
All right, guys. Brad Gilmore here from the Hall of Fame, here to keep it 100. Some men walk into a room like regular dudes, but when you've got BlueChew in your corner, you walk in like it's a main event. I'm talking pyro, lights, smoke machines, a Titantron package, and your theme music blasting. Because BlueChew just isn't a tablet, it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like somebody handed your downstairs a gym membership, a hype man, and a Hall of Fame ring all in one.
And let me tell you something right now, man. This ain't just about sex. This is about legacy. This is about making sure your third legacy gets remembered. BlueChew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex, shipped straight to your door, man, in a discreet package. You don't need to go to the doctor's office, man. You don't need to stand in line at a pharmacy. Just come ready to go.
Look, last time I tried one of BlueChew's tablets, my hog got so confident it demanded its own Instagram account. It told me missionary was off-brand and it was only doing extreme positions. I tried BlueChew and suddenly my hog had a zip code, a driver's license, and voting rights. That's not just performance, that's a lifestyle.
Dog, for me, it felt like my parents were cutting promos on me, saying, we can't hold this man anymore. Somebody call security. It was like my entire lower half turned into a tag team championship, man. And my brother, sometimes it's not even about the action. It's about walking into the room knowing you're holding a steel chair under the table, man, ready to go whenever the bell rings.
Look, this just isn't a supplement. It's an erection resurrection. And the truth is, it's not about what happens in the bedroom. It's about knowing that you're that guy. You want to give her group chat something to talk about? You want to hear your name come up at brunch? Lay it down with BlueChew's help. And believe me, they'll be talking about how it gets up.
And that's real talk, guys. You only get one career, one championship run, and one chance to etch your name in the history books. Don't leave your legacy to chance. Step into the ring with BlueChew and become a legend.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, you get your first month of BlueChew free. Just use promo code BOOKER at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join BlueChew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Use promo code BOOKER, BOOKER, and head to BlueChew.com for details and safety information.
Want to thank BlueChew for sponsoring the podcast. Now, can you dig that, sucker? Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Before we move any further, I want to make sure everybody out there know that Reality Wrestling is going to be doing something a little different on Sunday, October 17th. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to get shut out. Home run, dugout action Guys, right there at 1220 Grand West Boulevard in Katy, Texas. We're heading to Katy, baby. And we're going to be doing something different because it's going to be wrestling and concert style. We're bringing the best of reality wrestling. I'm talking about Zilla Fatu will be in action against that man, Edge. The Stone Don't Crumble, as well as AJ Francis will be in action versus Gino Medina, as well as Toro from the Houston, Texas. He will be in the house, as well as the Boogeyman. Oh, that man, WWE legend, the Boogeyman will be in the house. Guys, come out and have some fun because we're going to end the night with that man. That man, no bread, no water, just meat, Maxo cream. Gonna be giving you guys all the rhythms, all the flavor. So guys, don't miss out. Don't get shut out. October 19th. Yeah, man. What time we starting that thing? 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. All right, guys. Boom. Get your tickets. Go to realitywrestling.com and see how you can get your tickets for that. Boom.
Well, there you go. I can't wait. Home run dugout. First time reality wrestling is going to Katy, Texas, which is interesting. I'm excited.
It's about time, though. It's about time, reality wrestling went to Katy, and Katy didn't have to come to us. All right? Yeah. That's the way it is. That's the way it is with the wrestling business. Sometimes, the fans can't come to us. We got to go to them. So this is going to be something different. So I recommend coming checking it out because it's going to be a lot of fun, family friendly at the same time. Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? I want to shout out to all our Hall of Famers who are in the chat. If you have a super chat that you want to get in and have Booker and I react or read to, make sure you get it in before we wrap up today, and we'll read it on the show. I also love what the chat is. Chat was loving that BlueChew ad. The chat loves the BlueChew ad. It might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever recorded in the history of my life, but it was funny. I'll tell you that much. So BlueChew.com, promo code Booker, $5 for shipping. You get your first month free. I'd go try it. Go do it. Do it now.
Do it for you.
So really though, you were kind of being you had to look like you had some crocodile tears about the Hardys and the Dudleys the retirement of the Dudleys. But what is that about? To be Bubba and Devon calling it a career as a tag.
I mean, this is the end of an era, man. It really is. All those matches, all those matches. What? You don't even know what I'm going to say.
Keep going.
You know what I mean? All those matches in the ECW arena. All those bumps, man. All the bumps and bruises. You know what I mean? That's what I think about when I think about the Dudleys. All those tables matches. All the stairs. All the ladder matches. You know what I mean? Jumping off something. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. That's what I remember when I think about the Dudleys. Not the regional titles. Not that. I think about those guys going out there and putting their careers on the line. I mean, yeah. I mean, New Japan Pro Wrestling, tag team champions. I mean, WWE tag team champions, TNA tag team champions. Now, I give those guys a lot of credit. What they got, about 11, 12, tag team championships? I give them a lot. Well,
like if you count the ECW titles.
No, you can't count those. You can't count those.
Oh, we don't count the ECW titles?
You can't count ECW, and you can't count Hustle, okay? You can't count those. You know what I mean? But the rest of them, the rest of those titles, those are legitimate world titles. They were defended all over the world. Not like the ECW titles, just, in Bed-Stuy.
Bed-Stuy? Who are they? Biggie and Jay-Z defended their titles at Bed-Stuy? What are you talking about? They were down the street from the bodega?
Close enough to Philly.
Might as well. Might as well be. Hell. You're going to catch a lot of flack for that. But let me just say, as a long-term Dudley boy fan, and somebody who's seen Devon Dudley work up close and personal at Reality of Wrestling, no less. It is quite the end of an era. Although I don't know when the last time they had a match before this was. It'd been some years, I think. It's always nice, and I actually wanted to ask you that. It's nice when you get to call your shot, especially as in a tag, because a tag, there's so many things that could happen, and you and your brother got to have that moment at Reality of Wrestling, which I think made it even that much more special that you sold out a building for your final match with the final heat. What does that feel like, though, knowing you're going into the last tag match with your longtime partner?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe for the Dudleys, they may have had a different feeling about it. I mean, for me, it was the end of an era. I mean, it was the last time we was going to do that. Put those boots on and go out there and do it like that. So yeah, it was a moment for me where it was. I wouldn't call it closure, but it was definitely like wasn't the greatest feeling in the world. Because you knew that it's something you love and something you guys did great. You wasn't going to be able to do it ever again, so I don't know, that's like the final chapter, so for those guys, I'm sure they felt a lot of that because, all seriousness, those guys did a lot together. They did a lot together, man. All those miles and all those trips. For the regular person, that's just working 9 to 5, it's really hard to understand, how close those guys had to be able to pull something off like that, and how one had to watch the other's back and the other had to watch his back, and I talk about those, trips to Japan and Puerto Rico and Germany and England and all over the world. Those guys have went all over the world together for the last 30 years. They spent more time together than they have with their spouses, so it's really amazing what those guys did. It really is. I envy those guys. I wish I could have had, that kind of relationship with my brother, I really do.
Well, you and your brother ran as a tag for what? How long? How long did y'all run as a tag? When did you fully break out in singles? Was that 96?
Yeah, 96. Yeah.
96.
Yeah.
So y'all tagged for what, about 8 years?
Yeah, we tagged together for a lot of years. I'm just talking about the relationship those guys have still to this day. You know what I mean? Like I said, I really envy, the Dudleys.
Wow. That's a very transparent and honest thing to say. I think that obviously, they were just kind of put together. These weren't guys who broke in together. They were trained separately. I think Devon came out of what, Johnny Rod's school, I believe, and I don't know where Bubba was trained.
But I don't even know if Bubba was actually really trained.
Do you want to know my favorite Bubba Ray story though? Or Bully Ray, but let me say Bubba Ray is I think when he broke into ECW, I don't know what he was working as, but he showed up and he had like long hair, and he said when he broke into the wrestling business, there was only 2 things he didn't want. He didn't want to ever shave his head, and he didn't want to ever be called Bubba, right? And I'll be honest with you, I don't believe that at all. How specific of a thing do you not want to happen to be called Bubba, and then you get called Bubba?
Yeah, right.
No chance.
Bubba's a great storyteller, though.
He's a worker, brother. Let me tell you what. But they, as a tag, I will say, especially when they first broke into WWE, because I didn't watch ECW. I never saw it. I watched WCW on occasion. I was a WWF guy. I would watch Raw and SmackDown. And when they came in, I had no idea who they were. And within a couple of weeks, I remember they had a match with the Acolytes. And it was like a rough match. And I remember thinking, these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
They just took it to Farouk and Bradshaw. And they went on to have one of the most legendary tag team runs of all time. Where did you rank them in the top 10 of all time on Devon's channel? Do you remember?
On Devon's channel, I think I ranked the Dudleys like 7 or 8 or something like that.
7 or 8? I think that's a fair ranking. I mean, there's a lot of tag teams in the history of wrestling. Where did Devon rank them?
Devon ranked them at number 1.
Where did you put Harlem Heat?
I think I put Harlem Heat at number 3 or 4, something like that. Number 4, I think.
Okay. Top five, but there were a few people you thought were better.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, some tag teams, you got to give them their props. Like Rock and Roll Express. Got to give them the Midnight Express.
Road Warrior.
Orn and Tully. I mean, not I'm sorry. No, I mean, not Orn and Tully. Orn and Tully. Yeah. It was Minnesota Wrecking Group. Man, it was bad. Man, it was bad. Orn and Ole. That's who it was. Orn and Ole. Bad. But I thought we were, then you got Doom, but I thought Harlem Heat, was somewhere around, top 5.
Okay.
But not Road Warriors. I forgot. I don't know how.
Road Warriors, of course. Hawk and Animal, the great.
So I put us definitely behind those first 3 tag teams.
Okay. Well, hey, look, we can talk more about tag team wrestling. We got to talk about John Cena, AJ Styles, and more. We got to take a break, though, Book.
Hey, we'll be back in a minute. Hey, this is Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Fame. I got something for you guys, man. Look, when I was a kid, man, cereal was my jam. But now, since I'm a grown man, I'm looking for something that gives me more than just a sugar rush and carbs, man. That's when I found Magic Spoon. Look, it's a cereal that gives you the taste of your childhood favorites, but without sugar and packed with tons of protein.
And if you're already a fan of Magic Spoon, then you need to listen up to this because I've got some big news. Magic Spoon has taken that amazing cereal that we all love and turned it into high-protein treats. These new treats are light, they're crispy, and they become my go-to snack, especially before or even after the gym.
Yeah, man, every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and only 4 grams of net carb. That fruity and cocoa flavor are the classic ones, but there's a whole lot more to try, man.
And those new treats, they've got 12 grams of protein and come in flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. Perfect when you're on the go or you need a quick snack to fuel up before that workout.
Yeah, man, I keep a box in my gym bag, but it's a great late night snack as well. Those treats have that crispy texture, great taste, and the macros that make you feel good about eating them.
So Magic Spoon's bringing back those nostalgic flavors, but without all the stuff that we don't want. So if you want to try it for yourself and get $5 off your next order, go to magicspoon.com/HOF. That's magicspoon.com/HOF. Or you can even find it on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store.
That's magicspoon.com/HOF for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I know you want to talk about John Cena, but before we get there, man, we got to talk about some of the releases that just happened here in the WWE. And I just want to try to wise some of these young guys up as far as, man, you really got to understand how serious this thing is and how the sand in the hourglass is running out and the clock is ticking seriously every second. So I literally advise you young guys, you young talent that's trying to do this thing and you're trying to make that transition from, whatever, lives you had before this professional wrestling thing. It's about trying to pick it up and it's about being smart. And it's about doing it very, very quickly. And the thing is, you can have all the talent in the world sometime, and that's not that's not what's going to get you to the next level. It's almost one of these things to where being in the right place at the right time a lot of times as well. I look at one of the releases, Wes Lee. Wes Lee's a guy that's highly, highly talented, and Wes Lee is a guy that I would have thought would have been safe, okay, but then. I think also about what this thing is all about, NXT being a developmental system. Okay. Wesley's been there for what, 5 years?
Something around there.
And when you've been in the developmental system 5 years and you're not looked upon as being someone that's going to make it on the main roster, you could be one of the guys that's going to get cut. So that's what I think about when I look at a lot of this young talent out there. If they're just happy being a part of it, and I don't think that about Wes Lee at all. Just like I said, I really feel like this guy, his talent was extraordinary. As far as him being North American champion, one of the best North American champions in NXT, if not the best. A guy who could go out there and fight, and then he could fly and do all of that stuff to it. So I don't know. Of course, there's a place for someone like Wes Lee. I mean, of course, he can go to TNA, just like that. Of course, AEW will pick a guy up just like that, just because he's very, very high talented. But as far as this developmental system, I would implore guys to think that that they got perhaps 2.5 years at that. You know what I mean? So you better be motivated to try to figure out what this thing is all about. And you may not want to ask the elder statesmen like myself, but you better if you want to know what it takes to make it to that next level, you better be asking everybody you possibly can who's been there and done that. What is it going to take for me to get? Don't cruise. Don't put it in cruise control, because you can find yourself being one of these guys getting released. And I'm not saying either of these guys that got released was on cruise control or anything like that. I don't want that to be written that way or put out there on social media like that. But I want to let these guys know that the clock is ticking, and they're watching to see if you are one of the guys perhaps that could make it on the main roster and make it to SummerSlam and WrestleMania and all the big events. That's what this developmental program is. And I think that's what the developmental program actually should be.
I think you make a great point. And with people like Wesley, though, that is one that does shock me. I just thought that he had so much talent. And can you even begin to pontificate what could have potentially happened there? Like, why no Wesley?
I don't want to speculate or anything.
Yeah.
I just don't, because if I speculate, they're going to write it as
true.
Possible or anything like that. But I just think the guy is uber talented. I think he can work with anybody in the world. I think, his attitude was always, right. But I'm not Wesley, and I'm not negotiating contracts. You know what I'm saying? That could be a totally different person, but I just think that guy, he definitely has a future in this business. And, but I just want to, again, put those guys on notice and let them know that making it on the main roster is not, that proves my point as far as, being talented. It's gonna take a whole lot more than being able to go out there and give me a 5-star match, because I think Wesley could actually go out there and do that.
Of course, I saw him do it at Reality Wrestling.
Oh, I saw him do it on NXT on a regular basis. I mean, every time he got in the ring, this guy shocked, awed, and amazed me. You know what I mean? So that's not what this thing is about. It's show business, and it's about being the best actor you possibly can be. And Wesley was a damn good actor as well. I can't say what happened with Wesley is a shocker to me. But as far as everybody else on that list, nobody shocked me. Ridge Holland, he's a guy that's been around for a while, and never really, crashed through. And I can see a guy like that, you say after a while, okay, where are we going to go with this? I can see that, you know what I mean? But everybody else on that list is just a casualty of the business. So guys that's getting in this thing understand how much time you got. That's just like in any match. Somebody come to you with a match, you're going to be working such and such. You ask them how much time we got. That's the first thing you want to know. All right, because you got to know how to manage that time. All right. When you get a developmental deal, know how to manage that time. When you get one of these ID programs, know how to manage that ID program and try to get as much knowledge that you possibly can within that, duration of that contract. I don't know what those contracts are, but, do that. Do that for me.
Yeah, it's sound advice. It's sound advice. And you see some people, I'm not saying this happened to anybody who was released, but sometimes you think people, they get signed and they think, okay, boom, mission over, got signed. That's what the goal was. The goal was to get signed. Now I'm signed. That the hard work's over. But that's like really like where it begins, right? I mean, it's almost like when you go from college ball to pro ball. You think that when you get drafted, oh, I've made it. Well, no, you haven't. Like, you have now made it to the next level where the most elite are. And make no mistake about it, of course, there's a lot of great wrestling organizations around, but WWE is where the elite are. I mean, even though there is all elite wrestling, I'm saying the elite is WWE. It always has been. So you got to know that's really when the mission starts, right?
Well, I didn't start. Yeah, I didn't really consider myself a real wrestler until I got to WCW. All right,
Sure.
and there again, getting it to WCW was just one part of the game. Staying there was the ultimate goal. So understand that everything's a test, and when you don't understand that, you can come to practice, and you can go through the motions just like everybody else. You can go home, you can eat your chicken and rice, and hit the gym, and you can come back and repeat it and do it all over again. But the guys that's trying to get to that next level, man, they are studying, they are working, on their game. When everybody's sleeping, they in the war room, trying to think about how they're going to get better. Trust me, I feel that way, because when I got to WCW, I got through Riding the Deep Water pay-per-view, my first, pay-per-view main event, with all the major guns, and I could have been one of those kids that said, let me go out here and get my stuff in. Let me go out here and shine, man. I'm finna go out here. I'm finna go do all the spinneroonie. I'm finna do. I did none of that. All I did was sell. All night. Let me sell all night. Let me make these old guys look good. And at the end of the night, I remember, those guys came up to me and they was like, man, awesome, man. You was awesome tonight, man. You did such a great job. I know I did, because I just put you guys over. I knew what my job was at that time. So now, man, this business is about being smart. I told a story about a guy by the name of Dusty Wolf. I saw some people comment about it, Dusty Wolf, and they said Booker T is making up stories about
that.
Some people understand me. Dusty Wolf, Dale Wolf. He may have had a couple of other names. Is a real wrestler and a guy who, made a hell of a contribution to this business. A hell of a contribution to this business. It's for guys like Dusty Wolf, Ricky Santana, the Cuban Assassin. It's because of guys like that. You see guys like me. All right. So Dusty Wolf, Dale Wolf is a real person. Look him up.
I saw someone say, Booker just made up a guy to prove his point. And I was like, wait, what? Dusty Wolf's a real guy. The headlines always make me laugh. They always do. I saw another one on Complex today. Booker T doubles down on his love for Jay Cargill.
You damn right.
What?
I'm gonna double down on whatever I said. I wasn't love. It was just, truth.
Yeah.
How about saying that? Booker T double downs on his truth about Jay Cargill, which I think that would be a great way to write it. Right? Am I right or wrong? Right?
You're right. You're right. I don't know. I give it a C. I give it a C.
Gotta take a break, man. We'll be back in a minute. Stick around, y'all. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With EarnIn, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
EarnIn is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the EarnIn app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make EarnIn part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to EarnIn.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download EarnIn today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with EarnIn now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Man, I got some incense burning in here, man. It's all over the freaking place.
You and I both. I don't know what the hell's going on.
But no, man. Let me get that out. But I just want to remind everybody, Home Run Dugout, 1220 Grand West Boulevard is going down. Katy, Texas, Reality of Wrestling is making the trip. So let's get ready to have some fun. Come out and meet Toro from Houston, Texas. Come out and meet the Boogeyman, who will be signing autographs and doing all that thing right there. Zilla Fatu will be in action versus Edgestone. AJ Francis will be in action versus Gino Medina. And we're going to close this thing out with your man, no bread, no water, just meat. Max Soap Cream doing his thing, man. This is a first. This is a first for Reality Wrestling. Front Row Productions, man. We're doing it, and doing it big, guys. So come out and support. That's Sunday, October 19th, 5 p.m. start time. Booyah.
Man, you don't want to miss out. You do not want to get shut out, as a great man once said. Hey, before we get to our super chats today, though, I did want to talk about John Cena. John Cena, AJ Styles. AJ just announced in 2026 is going to be his last year as a professional wrestler, which is very sad for me. AJ is one of the greatest of all time. The phenomenal one, really lives up to his name.
How old is AJ?
AJ's mid-40s, so let me look it up. AJ Styles is 48, so late 40s. He turns 49 in June.
Okay, you know what? It's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
It is. It's time. You know what I mean? For me, I said 40 was going to be my number. All right? And just like AJ probably got to 40 and said, man, I'm still better than all these suckers. That's what I said. And I said, let me see if I can push it. Maybe 5 more years. And I pushed it for 5 more years. And I think I got out around 45. And I think, you know, AJ, he's always been, you know, a guy that's been very healthy. AJ has been a guy who hadn't gotten a lot of injuries or anything like that. And for him to have lasted this long, what AJ got, 25, you know, clock, perhaps, you know what I mean? It's time to wrap it up, man, and live on the fruits of the labor. Seriously. He doesn't have to do anything ever again. No.
He's one of the greatest of all time. He really is. I mean, as far as the in-ring goes, I don't know if there's many people, or it's a short list of people who are as good, if not better. You know what I mean?
One thing about AJ Styles too, he's one of those carpenters that we're going to need in this business for many, many years. So when he retired, he's still going to have a job doing something in this business, I would imagine, just because he's one of those great minds that this business definitely can utilize, one of those great minds that we lost, you know, back in the day. And, you know, we don't have the Macho Man Savages of the world, you know, those guys, you know, the Mr. Perfects of the world, you know, the Ravishing Recruits, you know, we don't have those great minds, you know, teaching this generation, you know, how they got over, you know what I mean? You know, so to have a AJ Styles there, who's a guy who I saw in that locker room, you know, as a kid in WCW, all the way to this guy right now, man, big ups to him, seriously.
Awesome. And now John Cena, before we go to our super chats, they had a match of the night at the Crown Jewel show. Cody Rhodes and Stephanie Vaquer, Seth Rollins and Stephanie Vaquer won the Crown Jewel titles. But John now has 4 dates left. 4. That's it. He's going to wrap it up. They announced December the 13th, Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, will be the last John Cena match of his career. We're right there. We're at the end of the tour. I can't really believe it. It's kind of hitting me a little bit. It makes me sad a little bit.
Hey, man, you know, everything comes to an end, bro. It's just, you know, part of life. You know, I've seen so many guys start their careers and so many guys retire, especially in, you know, stuff like MMA and boxing and, you know, in professional wrestling. Just, you know, just part of life, you know, but it's just, you know, seeing the way he's going out for me has been awesome. You know, wish everybody, you know, get a chance to go out the way John Cena has been, you know, had this time to shine and do it the way he has, and, you know, work with, you know, certain talent and give them the rub, you know, like a Sami Zayn and whatnot. You know, so no, man, I definitely appreciate everything that this dude, you know, I had a huge part and seeing John Cena come up. I mean, I was right there at the beginning of his rise, and to see him now, pass the torch is amazing. It really is.
We will see John Cena 4 more times in his pro wrestling career. So everyone, make sure those are can't miss shows. But it's time to get into the Super Chats book. You ready?
Ready as I'm going to get.
Okay, Brooklyn Bryan says, hey, Booker and Brad, were the ECW Tag Team World titles or are they not? TNA Bound for Glory was a good show. It was a good show. Are the ECW Tag Team titles, are they world titles or are they regional titles? Boy?
They were regional titles. I mean, come on. They were in Philadelphia. That's like reality of wrestling being a world title. Okay? They were they're the ECW championships. I don't think they were the ECW world championship. That's just my opinion. Now, it's to be debated. It's to be debated. But I think when you're running shows at 3 a.m. in the morning on, I can't even remember the network. You know what I mean? Paid programming. Come on. That's not, come on. Let's just keep it real here.
Okay, let me ask you though.
Sunshine, the Sunshine Network. That's what it was. That's what it was. The Sunshine Network. Yeah, I remember that's what it was.
Sounds like Soul of the South.
It's actually my point.
What constitutes a world title?
Being able to defend those championships on all regions. You know what I mean? All over all continents. You know what I mean? Not
WCW and WWE would travel outside of the United States
all the time on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't remember seeing any ECW shows outside of the country or outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah. They were pretty much.
I'm sure they had shows outside of Philadelphia.
They had shows in New York.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were pretty much a Northeastern brand overall, and that's no knock to them. That's just facts.
I don't remember them coming to Houston.
I don't think they ran the Compact Center. I don't remember that one.
I'm just saying.
Brooklyn Bryan says Stephanie Vaquer's Devil's Kiss has taken on a life of its own. WWE released a 5-minute video on YouTube. Oh yeah, man.
You know what? I'm just glad to be a part of it. I'm just glad to be a part of her rise and her success. I'm serious. I always thought Stephanie Vaquer was the one. I said it from the beginning. I said, this one has so much talent inside that squared circle. Her performance, I always talk about the performance, the before and after. She does all of that so very well. So to see her rise, it's been awesome. But to add a little bit of spice to it, a little Cholula Green, you know what I mean? A little Frank's Red Hot. Oh yeah, man. So for me, that's what I try to do on a regular basis. It's not about me. It's about these guys. Stephanie, big ups. Big ups for going over there and doing it.
Yeah, it looks like her and Roxanne Perez are now angling at each other for an angle. And I want to say Stephanie Vaquer, first woman in the history of the company, first year in, 4 titles won. It's pretty incredible. 4 different championships won. She's the real deal.
I'm proud of her, man.
She's the real deal. Yeah. Brooklyn Bryan says Haley J at Reality Wrestling. She's a fantastic talent with upside.
She just got slapped the hell out on Power Slap. You know what I mean? But you know what? That's just part of the game. She stepped up. That's one thing about Haley J. She ain't gonna back away from a fight.
She's not.
That's you know what? That's right. Haley J is the true definition of ride and die chick. You feel me? So now, man, big ups to Haley J.
Big ups, Haley J. Yeah. She did lose, but you know what? Like, everyone's gonna lose eventually, right? Yeah, man. You're gonna get hit.
Steven Tyler said it. You got to know how to lose to know how to win.
Oh yeah, Steven Tyler, Aerosmith, baby. Brooklyn Bryan says Obafemi versus Omos. No bread, no water, just me.
I heard about that little confrontation at the house shows over the weekend. And the chant going all over the place. So I'm glad to see Obafemi, back and ready to come back and stake his claim more than anything. Or Oba might be getting ready to move on to greener green, or I'm talking about long green duckets, pastures, perhaps Omas back. I'm talking about in fold. I'm talking about a monster. Talking about a monster. Yeah, those two guys. I think I pay to see it. I pay to see that. I pay to see that anywhere in the world. I pay to see it. So big ups to both of those young guys.
All right, our next one here. We've got a couple much. Big Breezo. That's why I like LFG. When y'all talk to the wrestlers about their matches, it's deeper than just the match. I love wrestling. Yeah. It's a great. You got great minds over there.
I try to school these guys, man, and sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. You know what I mean? Like a BJ Ray. He was part of the releases. And I always thought that kid had something, you know. But this business, you got to be able to apply yourself. All right. It's not going to be like football, basketball, or any other structured sport. It's not going to be like that. And a guy like BJ Ray, he had the looks, you know what I mean? He had the swag, you know what I mean? The charisma. But everything else, he definitely was lacking in. So there again, guys, your clock is ticking. Know how to figure it out. Just the same way BJ Ray was on television, he was that way off television. Can't be that way.
You got to know how to change your levels, right?
You got to know how to change levels.
Two more. WIY says, Book, can you say the money is gone?
Oh, the money is gone. That's what that boy told us, man. If y'all going down to Global, I heard y'all went down to Global. Yeah, we went down to Global. I mean, you know, they looked at us and said, well, I'm going to tell you right now, the money is gone. So if you're going down there for that, you might as well stay here. All right. Just disgruntled, man. Totally just trying to shatter somebody's dreams, man. Don't ever shatter somebody's dream. You see somebody trying to move up, you pump them up. You know, you pump them up like MC Hammer to the next level, man. Pump it. You try to give them. You don't try to hold them back. All right, just do that for me. Do that for me, people.
Yeah. Our last one is Stephanie Vaquera's on an incredible run in WWE. Yes. Stephanie Vaquera is still fresh off her run in CMLL and NJPW. What can Julia do to catch up?
Wait a minute. How long has she's been in WWE now? How long?
About a year.
About a year. Is that fresh?
That's fresh.
Of CMLL.
Yes.
I think that's fresh off.
I think that's fresh off.
You know what's such a great comparison? You know, just because of Stephanie Vaquera, how much time she's put in to get to this point. I mean, she's put in countless hours to get to this point. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that, man. Brooklyn Brian, I appreciate that because that's definitely a comparison. You know, we were just talking about earlier, just last week, you know, as far as, you know, having time in this business and then rising to that occasion and getting there in such a meteoric rise. I'm talking about this has been like uber fast, boom, for Stephanie Vaquera to, you know, come through NXT and just, you know, totally just shock and amaze everybody and then go to the main roster and win the world title just like that. Are you kidding me? And then go over here to Crown Jewel. Okay. This doesn't happen, people. This doesn't happen if you're not that damn good. I'm telling you, big props,
man. Real quick, what can Julia do to catch up to Stephanie? And I think they say that, but you know, Julia she's the women's United States champion.
I'm just going to say that. I don't think Julia needs to do anything to catch up. It's not a race. From that perspective, I don't think they're competing from that perspective. I think both of those ladies have come over here to WWE and they've done great. You know, just like the EO Skies, they've done great being able to work within that universal language that is which is the square circle. Go out there and make you people go, oh man, I really, really like this person here. That's like what I did in the ring, and then Bad Bunny come over and he liked Booker T because he watched me as a kid. He didn't even speak English, but he understood the universal language of going out there and performing. Yeah, that right there, it's a no miss. You hit a home run with it damn near every time. And someone like Julia, she has nothing to catch up to. Stephanie Bakir, she's doing her thing. You know, I heard somebody say, "Is this going to make it harder for Roxanne Perez?" You damn right. It's just going to make her work a little bit harder. But that's part of the game. That's part of the game. Baby. I mean, so now, man, all the ladies, I think, deserve a round of applause, man. An encore. Bravo, young women. Bravo.
Well, hey, that is all of our super chats for today. We appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Oh, yeah, man. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting the champagne wishes, caviar dreams, home run dugout, guys. 1220 Grand West Boulevard, Katy, Texas, Sunday, October 19th. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. Toro, Boogeyman, Zillifar I will be in the house. The lovely Queen Charbel will be in the Brad will be in the house. You know, Gene Wolf's in the house. I mean, no, that's Red's in effect. Hey, we got to get up out of here, man. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. We about this mug. Peace. We love you.